So the next thing that we have here is we're going to motion to approve our candidates for CCIDC board of directors to fill the educator director seat. Can I get a motion to? Can I make a motion to approve Karen Mentions as a candidate to fill the open educator director seat?
I make a motion to approve Karen Menches as a candidate to fill the open education director seat.
Can I get a second to that motion?
I second. Oh.
Call for any discussions?
So Karen, if you want to go ahead and maybe come on screen and introduce yourself.
Oh, how do I, can you guys see me already?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah.
My name is Karen Menches. I am adjunct faculty at Fullerton College. I teach building codes for interior designers. My background before being a designer was inspecting residential properties all over the country after disasters. So I would go into these houses and reassemble them on paper and write construction estimates. And I worked with contractors, engineers, management, obviously the clients. So that really prepared me a lot for being a designer. More than I ever thought. I didn't know that I was going to be a designer, but that's just how I gravitated towards design and construction. So I'm very excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you.
Thank you.
Ed?
Yep.
You want to call for the vote?
So can I call for a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
All opposed? Any abstentions? There we got it.
Yay.
Welcome to the board.
Welcome to the
You.
board. Yeah. So now,
Welcome.
yeah, George, you're going to need to do the new roll call with our
Yeah.
No problem. George Brazil is here. Hutan Hamadani is out. Carol Lamkins.
Here.
Here. Patricia Johnson. Here. Eduardo Melgar is here. Karen Menches.
Here.
Here. Yay. Deborah Ogden.
Here.
Excuse me. Taylor Stead.
Here.
Linda Thomas.
She's muted.
Linda, you're on mute. And Christiane White.
Here.
Here. Perfect.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Okay, next.
So
Normally I would
next-
have on the screen, I would have the PowerPoint that shows where we are, but it's not working. So I apologize. You guys are going to have to just look at us.
follow along on your own. So we're going to move over to the meeting minutes. Tab
No,
one.
actually, before that, we're going to do audience introductions.
Oh, that's right. I didn't see that. Sorry about that. Audience introduction. Can are you going to pick one by one? I think there's like 34.
Yeah, so I'll do it from
participants.
over here. Yeah, since I have it here. I have Andrea Trejo. I've unmuted you.
Hi. Yes, that's Adriana Trejo. Hi.
Hi. And if you just want to, name and a little bit about your background and who you're with, if you're a CID or if you're with the board.
Sure. Yes, I am a CID. I've been in between jobs for the last year. I'm going to start at HOK on Monday. So yeah, I've been practicing for over 20 years, specializing in commercial interior design. I was at Gensler previously. So yeah.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thanks.
All right. Adriana Curry.
Hi, I'm Adriana Curry. Yes, I teach at Fullerton College. I am the department coordinator, and I know Carol Lamkins and Karen Menches very well. And I'm just happy to be observing you guys.
Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you again. Okay. Now I am going to butcher this name. Ayung U? Is that you? Is that how you pronounce it? Did I butcher it? Ayung U? Is that your name?
Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
welcome.
Yes, I'm so glad to be here. I'm so sorry about last time I was late for something like for a board meeting.
Oh,
So,
you're fine. That's perfectly fine.
yeah. Yes, I apologize for this and something like I'm late. I'm late on 1 hour, but I'm on meetings like 1 hour meeting. I didn't get any credit from from this time. I just asked you for this. Yeah, I think I'm on the both meetings like 1 hour, like mostly. Yeah,
Okay. We're
yeah,
glad
one
to have
credit
you.
from there. Yeah,
Good. And you are a CID, correct?
yeah, CID. Sorry, I'm
Oh,
a CID. Yeah,
wonderful. Well, welcome.
yes.
Thank you for joining.
Okay. Beth Shinro, are you there? No, she's mute.
Hi.
Hi,
Yes,
Beth.
this is Beth. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, wow. This is like my third Zoom meeting, so I'm not the A Zoomer yet.
That's okay. By the end, you're going to be
I'm a
pro.
Zoomer boomer. Okay. Anyway, yes, I have a design company called SOTA Design, SOTA Design, which I've had for 35 years. I am a CID, but I kind of let my membership go, so I'm going to jump on board any minute and get back in. And I just thought this would be the best way to jump back in. So
Well,
I've done it all in terms of design. I've worked for Gensler, Beckett. I've had my own business for 35 years. And I work with an architect. I've had a gallery. Oh, I just do all sorts of things. So I'm really excited to get back in and learn more CAD.
wonderful. Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you.
And thank you.
Catherine Brown Lee.
Hi, how are you guys?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. Katie here with Parisi Portfolio Interior Design, and we specialize in multifamily and hospitality.
Wonderful. Great. Well, we're glad you're here with us.
Great to see you guys.
Okay. Next, we have Christiana Clark. Christiana, I'm sorry if I butcher people's names. You're muted, so there you go.
Okay, you got Christiane White's name correct, so mine's just the same.
She's actually.
I can honestly say I have never met anyone with the same spelling as my name. I've met lots of other Christianas, but not with the exact same spelling.
It's because you were both misspelled. There's only supposed to be one N.
Exactly.
Our mothers didn't know. I do. I've been a CID for a long time. Since the early 90s, I started out with a contract design firm with a business degree in the 70s. So I've been out there a long time. I do hospitality, and I currently work with a former Gensler architect doing some commercial projects and some real super high-end residential.
Wonderful.
And I still do a lot of hospitality, because to me, that's the most fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we are at Christine Viejas.
Hi. Okay, I'm just here basically to observe, but basically what I do is residential design. I am a CID member.
Wonderful. Well, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet all of you.
Okay. Next, we have David Macon. Are you there, David?
Hi guys. It's David McCann. I'm a CID. I'm an architectural designer working on my architect's license in the US as well as in the Caribbean. I have my own firm. I'm currently working on several high-end residential projects in the Caribbean, but under normal circumstances, I spend my time between the Caribbean, Miami, and Toronto.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. Next, short but sweet. We're going to keep it very short but sweet. We have David Wagner. David, you there? Yep. Okay. Well, we'll come back.
He's muted.
Muted. Okay. So we'll go on. And next we have Deanie Mosser. You there, Deanie?
Deanie said that she has no audio today.
Oh, okay.
But she is on, yeah.
Deanie Mosser is a longtime CID. She was our webmaster for many years. We're glad she's here. Okay. Next we have Doris Tucker.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm pressing the unmute button. There you go. Yeah, hi, this is Dory Tucker. You can call me Dory. I'm a CID, I think since 2012, but I'm celebrating my 30th year of architecture. Been an architectural designer, project manager for the Betterment since like the early 2000s. And I own my own firm, Studio Crayamo, here in Modesto. And I practice everything from master planning to project design, building design, interior design, and landscape design, which was my first love.
Wonderful. Okay. Welcome, Dory. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Next, we have Erin Cunningham. You were unmuted for a second here. Okay, we're going to go on. Erin, if you want to speak, just raise your hand. Okay, next we have Isabelle Ramirez.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi. So I'm Isabelle Ramirez. I've been a CID for the last 5 years. I'm working out of Sacramento, California. I've worked for local firms here, but now I'm with Ccidc, and I work on commercial interiors. So I've done higher education, mostly workplace at the current moment, but yeah, excited to be here.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. All right. After Isabelle, we have just a few more here. We have, Isabel's on there twice. Jacqueline Sabronis. I hope I didn't butcher that too badly. No? Jacqueline?
Eric, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I have my own design business. I've been a CID since the late 80s, so I've been around a while, and I love doing church interiors and custom residential interiors. So that's what I do. Thank you.
Wonderful. Welcome. Okay. We have Magdalena Lowry.
She does not have microphone access, but
okay.
she's a CID.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Next, we have Rosalind Glantz.
Unmute.
There you go.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Roz. I'm a CID.
I do residential and some hospitality design. I'm a project manager now on some new construction and a few rehabs. But I also have a window treatment company called Timeless Custom Window Treatments, specializing in drapery, shutters, motorized shades, window treatments, all the things that everyone else doesn't want to do. So feel free to reach out to me on that. And it's nice to be here today.
Wonderful. We're glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And Susan Britton, sorry. Susan Britton.
Yes.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I'm an interior designer from, let's see, went into CID, I believe in mid 80s, one of the first tests that you ever had. I was delighted to be a part of it. And I've had my own business for many, many years, and I'm sort of thinking about retiring at this particular point, but lighting design is my specialty. And I'm in Carmel, California, so we're very light out here.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, then we have a wide variety. I had my own shop for many, many years, and we did quite a few different things, including upholstery and drapery, window coverings, and of course interiors, and mainly interiors of private residences, and did some commercial interiors when I first moved to California, but I prefer the residences. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. Okay, after Susan, we have Virginia, Ginny Cirilla. Cirilla. Sorry, I hope I didn't butcher that one.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can.
I had a little bit of an internet issue. I'm a CID since 1995. I primarily do real estate with staging for my clients, and occasionally I will help clients decorate their homes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. I think now that those are done, if you want to move on.
We have one CID that wrote in instead of talking. Bonnie Thomas, she's a CID working in the Bay Area at Ratcliffe Architects with a focus in academic and healthcare interiors. And she says she really appreciates the Zoom platform. It's much easier than driving to Sacramento.
Wonderful. Well, we are glad to have it on Zoom, and at such time we do start doing more in-person meetings. I think we're going to continue the Zoom platform to get as many people participating and joining us. So Ed, if you want to.
Yeah. Can we get to, we're going to go into tab 1, which is the meeting minutes. We need a motion to approve the January 18, 2020 meeting minutes.
Yep. I make a motion for the board to approve the January 18th, 2020, it's 2021, Rose, right?
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, 2021 board meeting minutes.
Need a second?
I'll second. It's Taylor.
Okay, Deborah was first, so we'll get Deborah. All right. Ed?
Okay. The meeting minutes are approved. We'll move on to.
We need to do a discussion and a vote.
Yep, we do.
Is there any questions or concerns with the board meeting minutes? Anything we missed other than me putting 2020 on the thing? No? Okay, Ed.
Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the meeting minutes are approved.
And the board meeting minutes, once approved, will be posted on our website after the meeting. So they'll be available to everyone at that point.
So we'll move on to the tab 2, which is the treasurer's report.
Okay.
Christiana.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, it took me a second. So we, for the first quarter of 2021, had, if we're looking at the profit and loss statement, we had total income of just shy of 60,000, 59,675. And we had total expenses of just over $72,072 and $97. So we had a loss of the first quarter of 12,000. And right as of 3/31, we had total assets of 74,196. And of that 71,849 was the balance in the bank account as of March 31st, the end of the first quarter. Any questions in regards to the profit and loss or the balance sheet?
I just have a quick statement. I think that noticing the loss in the first quarter, that's when all of our, everything comes due. We haven't quite all made all the money yet, but like we had our payments for the Idx exam review due. We had membership renewals and things due. So generally in the first semester, quarter, there's always some sort of imbalance to, if anybody has questions about that.
Yeah, it evens out over the course of the year though. Mm-hmm. Were there any questions? Going in 3, 2, 1. Okay. We will move on to the budget versus actual for the same time period, the first quarter of 2021. And so for income, our total income budget for the year was $276,435. And as of the end of the first quarter, we were at 88,000 of that. So about 32% of the budget, which is, that seems like that's pretty much on par, even though it was the first quarter of 2021.
Actually, part of that is because we got the second draw. Yeah.
Right. That was what I was going to say, is it's on par, but with that, part of that income was that PPP second loan. With the expenses, we had total expenses budgeted of $296,550, and of that, at the end of the first quarter, we were at a little over 72,000, so 24% of the expense budget in the first quarter. Any questions about that budget?
Yeah, so just one question about the income. If we take out the PPP loan second draw, what sort of percentage to date are we? Are we on track? Are we at like 25%?
It's a little lower than that. It's that 59,675 is the total without
21.5%.
Okay, yeah. So we're below, yet we're not that far below.
We're still recovering. From COVID, people are starting to come back. A lot of people that were delinquent last year, I wouldn't say a lot, but we've had several people delinquent from last year repay now that things are going better for them as well. So hopefully we'll see a continued increase.
I think it's actually, at least from what I've seen, it's better than where most organizations are.
Absolutely.
At the end of the first quarter of 2021.
No, this is good. Thank you.
Any other questions?
For the next one, I'll have that percentage, George.
Yeah, geez, Rose, make me pull out a calculator.
You're an accountant, it shouldn't be a problem.
No, it's right here. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Any other questions in regards to the financials? All right, I'll turn it back to you, Ed. Who's muted? Thank you, Ed.
We did have a question, like finance related, come in from Deanie. She's wondering how much money per year CCIDC is saving by doing the Zoom meetings versus the in-person meetings we used to do.
Approximately $15,000 plus. So we're still planning on, when things open up with COVID, doing the annual board meeting in person, because we want to make that a bigger event than it's been in the past. But yes, we're definitely saving money by doing the Zoom meetings. So we pay a monthly fee, which is nominal compared to each board meeting before that was in attendance, averaged between travel, board meeting, and everything else was about you know, $5,000 to $6,000 per meeting. So.
Okay, so we'll move on to tab 3, which is a compliance index reports. Carly, do you want to take that, or Rose?
Carly can do that. She's more familiar.
Do that. So for the compliance report, as of June 2021, we have 1,651 total current CIDs. There's 3,368 no longer active, with 417 of those being delinquent. So the total number certified is 5,430. If you go further, there's a breakdown of it. So we have the 5,430 that are certified or have been certified. 411 of those.
It's 417. That number was off. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 417 total delinquent. The ones that became delinquent in 2021, there's 48 of them. We have 0 people on a payment plan, with 1,309 expired. The total number expired in 2021 is 13. We have 309 that have resigned, 43 for business reasons, 210 because they moved out of state, and 56 because they requested to resign. We have 1,681 that are retired, 65 emeritus status, 69 deceased. Total current is 1,651. Total no longer active is 3,368. Do we have any questions?
I just have a comment. I mean, I totally get that this is our compliance report, but like reading this, it always shocks me of the number of people that are no longer active. Yet, I mean, there's reason for it, right? And I would love to, I know that we have to produce this, but I would also love to have something that is sort of real time, like, and not that we don't have current numbers, but so that we don't have to take into account those that are no longer active because they've retired or they've moved, like take some of those numbers out. It just seems like everybody's quit.
Right. And it's kind of funny, when I first started doing this, it was really just kind of that minimal top report. Deborah Ogden will remember, I mean, some of the people that have been here a long time, it was really just that very top minimal part. But we kept getting questions, well, why? Where are these people going? What's happening? So that's why we added the other part, just so we have a running tally. It's just for more information purposes, so we see that people are not just dropping off.
I think what's like the reason obviously is because these are numbers that are tabulated from the very beginning of CCIDC, right? And so that's 30 years now.
Okay, so you'd like to see it like the annual, how many people we got this year?
I guess, yeah. I mean,
well, that's kind of in the, it's kind of in there. It's just that part is in the Idexx part.
Okay.
Telling you how many new people we have and that sort of thing. But we can reformulate it to look a little different if that makes sense to everyone else. We can talk about how, what information it would best suit everyone, or what format. Definitely.
Okay.
All right, so we can move on to the Idexx report. For our May 2021 window, we had received 20 applications. 7 of those have been approved and certified. 13 Path 2 are pending payment. 51 applications for Path 1 are pending compliance. We have 204 applications pending examination. 48 of those we're waiting on additional documentation. 43 of those are total fails yet to reschedule to another window. 8 of those are no-shows that have yet to reschedule. 67 of those have yet to schedule at all, and 32 are pending scheduled for the Idexx. For the October window, our numbers are minimal. We're still accepting applications for that, but we've received 22 as for the October window, up until the October window. And then if you want to go below to the candidate status for May 2021, we have 33 that have applied. 32 of those applications have registered for the exam, and one of those candidates have transferred to the October window. We're still waiting on all the numbers because the testing window just closed, so we don't have the results quite yet. But that's where our numbers are at for as of May 2021.
Any questions?
Okay, sorry, I do have a question.
I just wanted to make a comment about that, if I may.
Yeah, please do.
I found that it was really helpful to me when I was in the candidate stage of the process that I was contacted to remind me to do a step that I didn't realize I needed to do, but I somehow missed it. So I can't remember what the step was in the process, but I found that, I'm sorry, Rose, do you remember the lady who worked there with Doug before you joined?
Yeah, Wendy.
Right. So she contacted me and said, you know, kind of like, sweetie, you know, you didn't do XYZ yet, or you're not gonna be able to take the test. I can't remember if she called me or emailed or what, but anyway, I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So I know you guys are doing that for the candidates. And I just wanted to point out how helpful that is to a candidate, and that I know it makes a difference in people actually, you know, going through this process, because there's a lot of steps. And sometimes they think they're, you know, you're so busy studying and scheduling time for the different parts of it that having you guys kind of be the nudge helps a lot.
Yeah,
So thanks for all the work you guys do to do that, because it's not easy.
Yeah, Carly definitely does that portion of contacting everyone. And the other thing I think that is a little bit more helpful, I'm hoping, is the new website has step-by-step instructions, like tab 1, you need to be here, tab 2, you need to be here. So it's all there. So hopefully that's a
If
little
they
more.
look at it.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. So, but we do, yeah. And also when they log in to see, they also have comments in their thing saying, hey, you're missing documents. So if they go back in and say, why haven't I seen anything, they'll notice, oh, if they have, you know, received an email or whatever. So there are multiple steps to contacting and allowing them to know that information now.
Good.
I was just curious, like how these numbers are tracking in comparison to 2019.
Well, if you see, let's see, it goes back 2020.
2020,
we can pull up 2019 for May 2020. That's kind of some of the 2019. We've seen a dip, but not a huge dip.
Okay. I mean, because to me, the numbers look good.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we've seen a dip, but not a huge dip.
Great.
That's kind of amazing, really.
Yeah, really is.
It is, yeah. Okay. So we're done with that portion. We're going to move on to tab 4, which is marketing and outreach. George, can you?
Yes. So Rose and I met and started to put together a marketing plan. And I laid it out here. I'll just quickly go out. Really, it's sort of 2 prongs. One is to attract potential CIDs, and the other is to engage current CIDs. So one option or one idea for attracting potential CIDs is to sponsor a senior class project at universities that are offering interior design programs. So I see Karen raising her hand that she wants to be involved with that. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. As an educator, that's awesome. But really the idea is, you know, working with a senior class, some sort of senior project that we can sort of sponsor and make a competition for CCIDC, where it's not an additional project that the students would be doing, that we're working with the instructor to make sure that some sort of senior studio project that they're working on would obviously deal with certain aspects of what a CID would be dealing with on a daily basis. And we could, potentially award the winner a free seat for the Idexx. And this would allow us to actually get into the classroom, do a presentation, and explain the importance of becoming a CID. So there's that. The other would be to attract working professionals through professional organizations, whether that is sponsorships or possibly if, when we're all back in public, if these professional organizations like ASID, IIDA, and KBA are having trade shows, maybe we have a booth there, or maybe we also sponsor a design competition there. So again, engaging working professionals that are not CIDs yet to be able to educate them on the importance. And then the second thing is to keep engaging our current CIDs, and some ideas are, highlighting CID's work on social media. That could be something where it's either people are just submitting their work and then we're posting it, excuse me, or maybe there's a monthly raffle depending on how much interest that we get, and then we're posting that. And then also, making sure that we are reminding our CIDs about the CEU requirements, and maybe even co-sponsoring some CEUs. And then also just sort of updating CIDs on a regular basis on what we're doing and just what's going on. So, there's some sort of future ideas. Is, do we refresh our branding? We definitely need to look at the website, make sure it's functioning not only properly, but the way that we want it to function and the way the user wants it to function. So, that obviously those two will take a little more time, and of course will take money. But I do believe the first two could really happen with very low financial input on our behalf. It's really more of a time standpoint. So that's where we are with that.
Thank you, George.
And I'm happy to open to questions, comments, take suggestions, anything.
I think we should open it up to questions.
One comment I wanted to make about the free, what did it say? A free membership or free something?
Free Idexx seat, sorry.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, how about $100 gift card for it?
We do that. We have coupon codes. Anytime we speak at the school, we go out, we give $100 coupon codes to everybody that's in attendance. So
okay, so that won't be as special as I thought it would. Okay.
No.
Well, we could for this purpose though, we could do something like every student that participates at least gets that, and then the person that wins gets a full seat.
Yeah. That works.
We could definitely market in a way to make it special, for sure.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I have a quick blurb about that. I am actually going through all the programs in California and seeing what they offer, either interior design or interior architecture. And I'm going through all their websites right now to see what they say. And I've noticed that the community colleges are more likely to talk about the Idexx, or the Cal State system universities are talking about the NCIDQ. And in particular, Long Beach, I don't know, can I share my screen? Because I just found this the other day.
Sure, hold on just one second here.
I see.
You should be able to do that, yeah, because you're a co-host, so.
Okay. I just saw this. I'm gonna check this out. And I was just kind of like, oh my gosh. Oh, hold on.
Share screen here. Let me see. Okay, there we go.
So this is Cal State Long Beach, and take a look at what they're talking about. What is the NCIDQ? They're saying in the state of California, the examination is administered by the CCIDC. That's not right.
No, and if you can send that to me, I need to contact them because that's false information.
Yeah, and I was just like, I hope not all of the Cal States are like this, because that's very misleading, and obviously it's not true. So,
Very much so.
Yeah, we definitely need to get that corrected.
Yeah, but there's a few of them that had just talking about NCIDQ. So if they're talking about the NCIDQ on their websites, they're talking about that in their classes too, and they're not even talking about the Idexx.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and we have, this is a problem that we faced. A lot of the Cal State schools have active ASID student groups.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, that's why the NCIDQ is spoken about, and not, because they honestly don't have any support for certification. So that's something that we've been working to change. We have been able to get into some schools that we hadn't been able to get into before, like UCLA and things like that. It's just a lot of legwork and a lot of reinforcement and talking with the people that run the program to be able to get in and get the other thing. So hopefully we can change that, but what's on the website, we need to get that changed because it's
well, sure, and I mean, even that document, Karen, that you shared, I mean, we can create our own document that includes some of that information, but that could be something that could be shared to every school, right? That they can use the information's there, they could just sort of copy and paste it.
Absolutely.
So,
and we do have that on our website. We have all that information, so it'll be easy to send them and
yeah, absolutely. I just quickly want to answer Denny's question. What is CCIDC to market CIDs to the public? That is something that I think is very important, and that's something that we definitely need to be working toward. And something that I was thinking about recently is, I know that we have great videos that have been created, and maybe we work on that whole video aspect of why it's important to hire a CID, what a CID brings to the table, that kind of thing. Something that then can be put up on LinkedIn, Instagram, that kind of thing. I think if we were to get into, advertising, I think there's a huge expense that probably, may not be in our budget to actually do that. Yet, Denny, I do think that there are great ways that we can educate the public, and I definitely think that we should be doing that. So,
and I think that besides what we have on the website, we do get a lot of traffic from the public,
right,
requesting information. They can now look up CIDs online at a click of a finger. So we get a lot of that. We get people requesting information for CIDs specifically. We send that out. We have businesses promoting on our website for jobs and things that they want just CIDs for. So we are working towards that. We all do it. It's just there is definitely more that we can always do, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then Bonnie Thomas said, also collaboration with IIDA. I was on the board for a while. They always took the position to take the high road in terms of recommending both the CIDQ and the Idexx. It's good to hear that they do that. That's not necessarily been our experience, but it's good to hear that that does happen. And we're the same. For certification in the state of California, it's required to take the Idexx. Should you take the CIDQ as well? Absolutely. Take whatever is in your best interest to help you in your career. Definitely. We feel the same way, that it doesn't have to be either or, but in order to be certified in the state of California, you must take the Idexx. So that's kind of our position. But yeah, we appreciate hearing that they have promoted both. Also, David said he had a question regarding the continued protection of the CID title. He's referring to the certified interior decorator, C.I.D. That credential isn't technically a credential. It's a person in Florida who is a member of a professional organization who has, you can go in and do like a correspondence course, and you can get a piece of paper that says you're a certified interior decorator. It really has not affected us here. Maybe in Florida, it does. We've dispelled it as much as possible because it's C.I.D. It's different than CID. It's not the same. So we do have something on our website that speaks to what the difference between the two are. And I know that you're saying that you do some work in Florida, and I know there it's probably more prevalent because that's where he's from. So
have we talked to any legal counsel about this?
It's
And
because it's a state thing. So he's in Florida. He doesn't have any legal recourse. He doesn't have any legal it's not a legal program. It's just, like I said, a correspondence course.
But can we not say that it's confusing to the public?
It is, but because he's in Florida and we're in California, nobody can use that title here. If they're caught using that title here, they can get, in trouble. So, it does not come up very often here, but when it does, we're on it and we definitely address it.
Great.
So our lawyers have been on it, and because of what it is, there's not much they can do.
Well, that's good to know.
Patricia McDonald says NCIDQ should be accepted and CID adds another test for the California rules. Patricia, that's something that's been dealt with the state specifically. There are reasons why the NCIDQ cannot be used in the state of California. Again, those things are all available, information all available on, but because it's a private exam and it is not regulated by the state, it cannot be regulated by the state. It's a private company. There are reasons why it cannot be used. We do allow the NCIDQ and other national exams to be a step in becoming a certified interior designer, but the Idx exam is and will be the main exam for the state of California because it is, regulated by the state. They have full access to it. So it's just, that's the way it is. All right, any other questions before we move on? Now there's two hands up. Hold on, I'm seeing who's Adriana and Patricia. Adriana, I'll get you on here. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Oh, thank you. This goes back a little bit back to what George was talking about, the competition providing an Idx, and later on saying that any student that participated would get something. I really appreciate that. I'm always looking for these competition things, and there aren't enough of them, honestly, to go around. There really aren't. I really appreciate you bringing that up, and I hope you move forward with that. You have my full support.
I definitely think that that's a way that we will be moving forward for sure.
Yeah, just to expose Idx and CID, it's astonishing to me how few people know about it. Mm-hmm. It really is. It really is. So
and the more of these cool things that we do, the more that it will get out there. So you're right. All right. And now Miss Patricia McDonald. Hold on, I'm going to allow you to talk. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Hold on just a second. See, well, I think I did the wrong one. Hold on. Patricia, allowed to talk. There you go. Patricia, go ahead and unmute yourself, and your hand was up.
Maybe her hand was up from before.
Unmute. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I should have clicked that unmute thing first. Yeah. Anyhow, I really do feel that the NCIDQ You know, I had to take that damn test twice because it's not an easy test at all. And back in the day, it was 2 days, 8 hours each. Okay, so it's much easier for them to take the test because it's now available on the computer. But I do believe that it really does cover everything that a professional designer should know. And if you pass the NCIDQ, I'm an ASID member too, but I am known as a professional designer, whereas those that don't take the NCIDQ are only known as allied. And we know that I can kind of consider allied only as, oh, we're decorators. We're not designers, we're decorators. So, but my feeling from the very beginning has always been that if the NCIDQ is accepted, and you guys should be able to go through that NCIDQ test to see what is asked and what is required, then the things that aren't required that the state of California requires is another test that those people can take, because I think a lot of people won't take both tests because both tests cost a lot of money and takes a lot of time. So if we use for the NCIDQ people, if you just use the CID for here, if you want to be certified in the state, you only have to know what our bonds are and stuff like that. And you put them both together and it's all for the state of California. But if we go out of the state of California, if we move somewhere and study someplace else, we have to be able to be certified in that other state,
Right. Okay. Just a little bit more. There's two things I think I want to touch on here, background wise, requiring that. When the state of California asked us to go, during our sunset review process, asked us to go away from doing 2 exams or requiring 2 exams, the first thing that CCIDC did was go to NCIDQ and say, hey, listen, this is what the state is requiring. Would you be willing to do a California-based test? Because we're doing yours and, we're doing the other, and they refused. They did not want to be a part of it. They did not want to participate in it. Also, additionally, the state was requiring from every national exam that we provide, or we allowed at the time, to give the information to the state about their, all of their statistics and different things about the exam. NCIDQ was the one that they refused to give that information to the state. Therefore, it is not a valid exam in the state of California. And we've done this several times.
Can I just make a comment about that, Rose?
Yes.
The reason it was not allowed to be used in California is because the passing rate for the NCIDQ exam is too low. It was not considered a fair examination because the passing rate was so low.
Yeah. If you want more information on this, on our Sunset Review, our website under the Sunset Review, the last one that we did in 2017, there's a full write-up about every aspect of it. They'll give you all of the information you need about why we don't use 2 exams or require 2 exams. We use 2 exams, we don't require 2 exams. It's partially because of what the state asked for and partially because of the demands of the other exams. So that's why we don't. All right, let's see, there's another question here. Dave said it's all about licensing interior designers in California. The architects boards will fight this. Okay, thank you, Dave. All right, I think we can move on.
Yeah. So the next tab is correspondence. Rose, do you want to take that?
Yeah, we received some great things from Calvo. They're doing some really great webinars and they're providing it for us, giving us the information. So I will post this online. June and July Calvo webinars. There's a 2019 CBC Chapter 11B Division 3 Building Blocks webinar. It is, registration closes this week. Sorry, that's a past one. Coming up on June 9th, there's highlighting the Chapter 11B mid-cycle amendments because they, if you know anything about the process, halfway through the process, they update the updates. So that's available. It's June 9th. I'll put this again up this for everyone. And then there's an overview of the 2019 California Building Code for permit technicians and plan reviewers. Even though it's for them, it's great for CIDs as well. It gives a lot of information about the codes. So I will post this information for you from Calvo. And they have some other ones coming up too. So I'll have the whole list available but a lot of great CEUs available for CIDs and others as well. And then the next thing, we received an email from Deanie Mosser. She said, I'm looking forward to CCIDC's board meeting. However, she didn't see on the agenda talking about the LADBS, sorry, the LADBS meetings and things that we're doing for, she used the words universal plan acceptance, and that's something that we steer away from because not all building officials are going to accept plans across the board. They should be, CIDs and other designers should always be allowed to submit plans for review. And that's something that we continue to work on. Ed is going to be, even though he's stepping down, he's going to be spearheading the group that works more closely with that. We have been working on getting the Idx exam updated. We're working with ICC right now to do that. So he's kind of been taking time to do both of those things. And as soon as we kind of get to a lull with the Idx exam, then he'll be able to pick that up and go a little further. And we'll definitely be asking for participation from LA's CIDs for that. But we definitely keep working with all of the building officials. We attend local ICC chapter meetings. I was waiting for Julissa Garcia to be on here because she is representative. She's a CID and she's now on the board at the local San Diego chapter ICC. We spoke at the, earlier this year, we spoke at the LA ICC meeting, and there was over 50 Los Angeles County building officials and staff at that meeting attending to hear us speak about who we are, what we do, what we're allowed to do. And the president at the time actually got up and spoke. He's on the committee to help revise the Idx exam. He got up and said, listen, I think that this exam is more stringent than anything that, you know, even architects do, which was kind of a fun comment to hear, but yeah, he really was a proponent of us, and he's a Los Angeles building official. Yeah. So I believe he might be Glendale, but anyhow, he was speaking about how stringent it was, how important it was, and all of the things required. So those things in educating those people gets questions, they were answered, people asked for more. We have people asking us to speak at local building departments so that they can be educated more, their staff can be educated more. So we are doing things, and things are happening, and they continue to happen. This group that will be providing, like I said, we need to get the Idx exam. The new one will be provided in October. So we're wrapping up the process. So that's kind of where we're at with that. There looks like there's some questions. Ed, do you have anything to add to that?
No, you just basically took my whole chair report. I'm just kidding.
There's not currently a working committee. The committee, I'll let you talk about that, Ed.
Sure, no, that's fine. So that's it for correspondence?
Yes.
All right, we'll move into the chair report, I guess.
Well, and Deanie had that question though. She's like, is there currently not working?
There is. You know, obviously we've been working on revamping the Idx, and so that's kind of been our primary focus. But and not that we put it on the back burner because it's kind of running parallel. But as soon as we're done with that component, I think we're going to start to get some traction with that, with the LADBS committee, and start getting in their face and getting some face time with some of these officials. Being on the ICC LA Basin chapter meetings, I think has been a great success for us. We've been able to connect with a lot of building officials, and it's just a great opportunity for us to be heard. And I think most of the people on that board have been very receptive to everything that we've said. And they're starting to understand what our capabilities are, which is great. And the more building officials that we educate, they're just going to pass that off to their internal team. And so when drawings get submitted by CIDs and somebody has a question, there's going to be people on that plan check staff that will say, oh, no, these guys can't submit. You know, these guys are qualified to do what they do here. And I think it's just a matter of time before we start to get some more traction, specifically in the city of Los Angeles and possibly up in San Francisco as well. So those have been the two kind of target areas that we've had problems with in the past. But I think, you know, the things that we're putting in motion currently with that ICC and just kind of getting in their face and being able to talk to them has been great. George, you know, I think if there's a ICC chapter up in the Bay Area, I strongly encourage that you just attend and just start getting in their face and starting to educate these guys, because they're not opposed to what we do. They just don't know. And, you know, obviously the more they know, the better it is for us. So as far as the LADBS committee, you know, that's something that we will be starting up pretty soon. So if there are anybody here in the audience, or, you know, anybody, you know, reach out to me, reach out to Rose, so we can get this started and get moving on that.
Right, and we have a list from the last two meetings of people that stated that they were interested, and so that list will be the list of people we contact once those meetings get started up. So that official committee list will be formed once we get those people contacted.
Correct. You know, some of the things that have kind of panned out in our favor over the last year and a half, just from doing COVID, is I feel like we're getting a lot more participation on these meetings, on these board meetings, where before we had maybe a half dozen people show up at a board meeting, and now we're getting, you know, 35 participants, which is amazing to see that, and hopefully that continues to grow. Just by doing these calls. And then when we do an in-person meeting, like you said, Rose, you know, it's going to be a little bit more special, and it'll maybe engage some additional people to travel and to go to these meetings. So I think that's kind of been a really great success for us here on the board, to be able to do these Zoom calls and get more participation. It's much easier for you to sit at your living room to attend these than to be in person, obviously, just because it's kind of they're all over the state of California. So that's been great. So the last thing I think I want to talk about is just my leaving the board. it's my time. I've been on the board for 7 years now. 1 year probably more than I was supposed to, and that was because of COVID, and there was just some circumstances that we needed to keep me on for an additional year because the sunset review got pushed out. So it's a little bittersweet, you know. I've appreciated being on this board. You know, I've been on this board with a lot of different people, and all of which have been very professional. And I think that the people that we're bringing on board that we just introduced, you know, you guys are all top-notch people, and I feel that I'm leaving the board probably stronger than when I started. So I appreciate everybody's time. I won't be going away. I'll still be participating, so I'll join the meeting as an attendee versus sitting on behind the gavel. And I'm going to be passing my gavel on to my virtual gavel on to George. So yeah, that's it. So I just want to thank everyone for the time on the board, and I wish you guys success. Yeah,
Teeny,
and then
Ed will still be heading up as a past president. He'll still be heading up the LADBS committee, but George will definitely be keeping an eye on that as well. So
yeah. And then just some opportunities for board engagement. You know, George could use some help on the marketing component of this. So if anybody's out there that wants to help with marketing, you know, obviously George is spearheading that marketing committee, and he could use as much help as possible. And then if you like we mentioned, the LADBS committee, you know, if you want to participate in that, you know, I'll be spearheading that, and I'll be working with George to make sure that, you know, we get in front of the Los Angeles Building Department. And then we're also looking for a public member to join the board. So if anybody knows a public member that wants to be on a board, you know, reach out to Rose and to George about that position.
We really are looking for someone that has probably a background in a legal background. It's always good to have someone on the board that has that kind of experience. It kind of keeps us in line with things. So if anybody knows anyone that is an attorney or has a legal background that would like to participate in the board, please let us know. I mean, we will take other public members, but we really do feel that that's something that helps us, is when we have someone that's got that kind of a background.
Well, and just a suggestion, especially for those that are on the meeting that own their own businesses, depending on an attorney that you work with for your business, you know, many law firms require their attorneys to sit on some sort of nonprofit board, something like that. So, I mean, this could definitely be something that could be attractive to an attorney that you're working with, or maybe somebody from their firm. So it's, you know, it's worth a call or an email to see if there's anybody there that is available.
Agreed.
And Ed, I want to personally thank you for all that you've done for CCIDC. We've been in really great hands, and the fact that you have navigated us through all the junk that we've had to deal with this past year, and we're still standing, that is a testament to your leadership. So I say
thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to unfinished business. Rose, do you want to take that?
Sure. I just put information in here about the Idx exam that we're working on to revise. It's been going really well. There's several people here that have been participating as part of that. We have a great group of subject matter experts. We have a lot of CIDs that are long-term people. We have CIDs that are educators. We have a fire marshal. We have our former fire marshal. We have building officials handling. ICC is handling the codes portion of the exam, as I said before, and so they selected the subject matter experts to participate in that. And most of them are architects, building officials, and that such. But we do have people from we have CIDs that also participate in that group to make sure it is relevant to what we need it to be for the exam. The exam used to be broken into 3 parts. It's now going to be broken into 12 components. So the test is definitely expanding, being revised, and just really updated. So I suspect that we'll be having more questions. We're getting into that part next. Right now we're doing the reclassification of the different subjects. After that will be the item revision and review and update. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So it will be out for the October Idx exam period. Any questions about that? Okay. Since we don't have a question about that, I also contacted our staffers up in Sacramento to see what's the deal with the Sunset Review. Are we going to start the process this year, or, you know, because of COVID, they had shut down for a long time.
Yeah.
And we aren't sure if it's really going to go through. The response that we received is that there is no update. Be prepared to do it this year, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen this year. So we will, you know, if everything goes according to plan, the way it's supposed to go, in the fall, end of summer, we'll receive our questionnaire from the committee in Sacramento. It's due in end of September. And then they review it, get back to us with any questions. And then next March would be our actual hearing dates. So if everything goes according to plan, that's what we're looking for. If it doesn't, if we get pushed out, we could get pushed out again in another year. And then what they do is they just update the dates. They put in a bill to update our expiration date for however long that is. So that's where we're at with our sunset review process. Anybody have any questions about that? Oh, okay.
We have new business.
Yeah, before we do the new business, does anybody else have any other questions for the board before we move into that? No? Okay, go ahead, Ed.
So we have a motion for officers. I'm looking at this. Rose, this is correct.
No, that's the old one. I don't know why the old one's in there.
Yeah, I was like,
Hold on, I'm going to adjust it right now.
You're back, Ed. You're back.
I know. I'm not leaving, I guess.
It was all a joke.
You cannot leave. We won't let you.
Oh boy.
I'll fix that right now. Okay. Close that. Save. Do you see the changes yet?
No.
Okay. So it's George, Hutan, Taylor, Christiana.
Okay, let me write that down. George, Hutan, Taylor,
Christiana.
and Christiana. Okay. Who makes it? Who's going to make that? You want me to announce that?
You can.
Okay. I move to accept the following as officers of CCIDC Board of Directors for 2021-2022 session. George Brazil for chair, Hutan Hamadani for vice chair, and you said it was Taylor Stead for secretary, and Christiana White for treasurer. Can I get a motion?
So who's going to say so moved?
So moved.
And then we need a second.
We need a second.
Got it? Sure. All right.
Call for any discussions?
Thoughts, questions, concerns? Back out now, guys. Okay.
Well, speaking of which, no, I'm just curious.
No.
No?
Not you.
I'm
going back on mute.
I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that's the new board.
Wonderful. Welcome, everyone.
Nice.
Quick question. Deanie said, when is sunset review? Deanie, that's what we were just talking about. If everything goes according to plan, we will receive our questionnaire at the end of the summer. It'll be due at the end of September. And then we receive comments and things probably in December from that. And after that, our hearings would be in March. That's if we continue, but because of the COVID, it's possible that it could be pushed out again. So they want us to be prepared for it to happen the way it's supposed to happen. But it could very well be pushed out again. Right.
So I guess that's it. George, since you are now the chair, it's your responsibility to adjourn this meeting.
Awesome. I make a motion to for the board to adjourn our board meeting. I need a second.
A second.
Second, awesome. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. So we are adjourning at 11:18 a.m.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone. We appreciate it. And as always, if you have any questions for us or the board, feel free to reach out via email, and we're here for you.